had our first puppy training class.
No.
So I went with
Sometimes I
her.
just put my head out the window, hopefully it dries.
But yeah.
I just go with whatever.
I worked over the weekend and I was like, nap.
I'm not complaining about the rain, but
But we knew that going
Make it slow
into
down.
So one was free to
place
play.
you got them posted.
Yeah. That's not free to play.
You know,
I figured I want to double check them.
petite, sluggish
Look,
stuff. And then
I
there's like a hangout.
You can add that one. Oh
We
my
have the
god.
last
I like some touchy
Looked
feely.
at, I'm like, how much you want to bet?
G.
He showed up, sure enough. Here you go.
That's good, he's sturdy.
Oh yeah, he's sturdy.
It's good with his toddler.
Hey Cheryl, good to see you.
I'm glad you're not wearing red. Looking good.
Looking good. You're right. I agree.
Look, actually squashed.
My red's put away.
They're the funniest thing.
It's all
Alright.
Those.
I call this meeting to order, 6:30.
Tell you.
Roll call.
Christian,
Present.
Jeske,
Present.
Bowles,
Here.
Oster,
Here.
Souter,
Here.
Whittington.
Here.
Halliday.
here.
Alright, all rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright. Presentation of the 2022, or 2023, wait. I did it right the first time. 2022, 2023 budget.
Yes. Yes, the first budget that I'm going to present on will be the final amendment for our 22-23 budget. I'm just going to go over some of the changes that's happened since our last amendment done in April. Maybe. There we go. Okay. On the revenue side, just to let you know, we have both grant and non-grant sources. Our non-grants are local, state, and other. On our grant side, these are federal dollars that are earmarked for certain things. So ESSER 2 and ESSER 3, I have those asterisks only because those are one-time grants and those will be going away. ESSER 2 money will be gone by the September 30th of this year. On our revenue side, our overall revenue is projected to be down 887, sorry, it's projected to be up, sorry, that's a mistake there, up $887,719 from the 22-23 budget amendment done in April. Local is up over $30,000, the state is up over $142,000, federal is up $723,000, and other is down a little over $7,000. Now to look at those changes, on our local side, our revenues are up due to interest received on prior tax payments. On the state side, our state aid revenues are up in the categories of the 22B discretionary, our 147A MEPSers, and our 31AA mental health from the amended budget. On our federal side, our grants are up due to earlier than anticipated completion of some of our ESSER projects. So as you recall, when we were talking about it in April, we weren't sure which projects were going to be done. So I said there might be some that would be switched to 23, 24. So just as of last Friday, I finally got the final invoice from them on what will be done by June 30th. So those were up a little up more than we had anticipated. Other revenues are down just due to reducing some indirect costs from food service. On our expenditure side, our overall expenditures are projected to be up the $919,000 from the 22-23 amended budget that was done in April. As you can see, instruction is up, supporting services is up, administration's up, operations is, transportation, other central support, community services is down for that total of $919. Now for those changes. On the instruction side, our increase is due to some sub-costs being higher than had been projected. On our support service side, there was increase in contracted service costs and title expenditures. When the budget was done in April, our title grant had not been approved yet, so therefore there was some expenditures that had not taken place, and we wanted to make sure there was approval before we put those in. So, and then in administration, the increase is due to some insurance costs being higher than projected. On our operations side, that increase, that large increase that you see is due to those ESSER projects that I spoke about on the revenue side being completed. On the transportation side, we had an increase due to some wage and benefits being slightly higher. And then on other central support, there was an increase due to some coaching wages. So our summary of the 22-23 budget is our total revenues are going to be $18,051,164, with our total expenditures being $16,682,662, giving us revenue over expenditures of $1,368,501. Our fund balance as of July 1 is $2,855,012. That brings our projected fund balance to $4,223,513, giving us a fund balance of 25.3%. And there you can see how our fund balance has gradually gone up in the last 3 years. So that's on the general fund side. Is there any questions to that budget? Okay. On the debt service, there's other budgets in here that we just have to go through because it's the end of the year, and those budgets need to be amended also. So we have our debt service budget, which is, we have revenues of $487,565. Our expenditures are principal and interest that we're paying on our bond payment. That equals $519,200. Our revenue over expenses is negative $31,635, giving us a fund equity of $418,090 was our beginning fund balance. Our ending fund balance will be $386,455. Now that was with us levying the 0.55 mils. And we have PFM look at that for us every year to let us know what we should be levying for that debt retirement tax. Okay. Any questions on that one? Okay, the next one is the food service budget. Now on this one, you're going to also see a decrease on that one. If you remember, there is a spend down plan every year that's been on this one. They're only allowed to have 3 months worth of expenditures sitting in their fund balance. So we've been, they've been trying to spend that down. So on the amended budget for this year, the revenues are $982,543. Expenditures being $1,163,273. Giving us, there's no transfers out. Net change is a negative $180,730. The beginning fund balance at the July 1 of last year was $475,394. That gives us an ending fund balance of $294,664. There was over $97,000 spent in capital outlay as they're trying to spend down that fund balance. Okay, on the next one, this is our student school activity account. These are the accounts that are usually used for like fundraisers and that kind of things that the kids do. So it's just an in and out. It's something that they have brought into the general fund, And so we have to present a budget on it, but it is something that's kind of hard to predict from year to year what we're gonna end up taking in or spending. So the revenues for this year, I think they're gonna be around 232,000, and the expenditures were 190,000, leaving us 42,000 revenues over expenditures. The beginning fund balance for that account is 171,440, with an ending fund balance of 213,440. And those are the budgets for the 22-23 school year.
Question.
Hmm?
What happens with the fund balance for the student school activity ultimately? Does it belong to different school groups, student groups, or?
It stays with the student groups.
Okay, so that those groups have that balance to spend out. This is just combined then, is what we're seeing.
Yes, what you're
Okay.
seeing is a combined, you're not getting a list like of
Right.
all the
Right.
activity accounts that we have.
Okay.
Right, yeah, you're just seeing it as a summary.
It's a summary. Okay.
Yes.
So if there's a
Yeah.
grade raising money for a senior trip or whatever like that, that's all kind of just lumped in here together. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, they're all lumped in together.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, are there any questions on this?
Okay. No other questions? We'll move on to the presentation of the 2023-2024 budget.
Okay, so the 23-24 proposed budget, this budget, there's a lot of assumptions in this budget because there's a lot of things in Lansing that haven't been finalized yet. So we're going on what we know today. So just remember that as we're going through it. And know that this is a conservative budget. So our fall enrollment, in looking at our enrollment, we decided to go with taking 10 students off of our fall count, taking us down to the 1146. We figured that was a conservative number. Our foundation allowance, there's 3 different foundation allowances standing out there right now. So the House has said that we were going to get $366 per student. The governor is saying that $458 per student increase, and the Senate is saying $550. Decided to go with the $366. So like I said, this is a conservative budget, so if it comes back higher than that, then we have good news to report. So again, just going over the different sources that we have for our revenues. You're still seeing the ESSER 2 on here because it will end September 30. Where the money comes from, so you can see that our largest amount comes from our local source at 45%, our state source at 23%, and our federal source at 31%. And the other is 1%. So the revenue overview, overall revenue is projected to be up $1,711,500 from the 22-23 final budget amendment that I just presented to you. As you can see, our local sources are up, our state sources are down, our federal sources are up significantly, and the other sources are down. Now to go over those changes, our revenues on our local side are up because we've restored our tax collection to that 18 mills. On the state side, our revenues are down mostly due to the removal of, there's 147C, which was retirement one-time funds that the state gave us last year in the amount of $600 and some thousand. So that was a one-time thing in 22-23, not coming forward for this year. Federal grants are up just due to the anticipated completion of the ESSER capital projects. Other revenues are down due to conservative projections in the following areas. Donations, interest on investments, and repair revenue. Since those are not something that's a given, I just want to be real conservative when I project those. So I tend to go to the lower end of it. Okay, so how the money is spent. So you can see that instruction is the one that has the 48.8%, supporting services at 8.5%, administration at 9.8%, operations at 23.1%, transportation at 5.4%, other central support at 4.0%, community services at 0.2%, and other financing uses at 0.2%. Expenditures. Our overall expenditures are projected to be up the $2,574,658 from our final budget that was presented. Instruction, you can see, is up $1,211,162. Supporting services is up $18,000. Administration is down $55,000. Operations is up $1,456,000. Transportation is down slightly, $2,000. Other central support is down $46,000. Community services is down $6,854, giving us that total expenditures being up of the $2,574,658. Instruction, we have an increase on that due to set aside for learning loss. In our ESSER 3 funding, 20% of that money has to be set aside for learning loss. So we've set that aside and for some summer school and other things outside of the normal school year or school day is how the learning loss has to be used. Support services increased due to software cost to address the learning loss. Administration decreased due to removal of 147C2. Expenses for that 22-23 school year that I told you about. Operations increased due to anticipated completion of those ESSER projects. Transportation is a decrease due to retirement. Other central support, we had a decrease due to end of reimbursement from CORE for aides. They were reimbursing us for 2 aides a year. With my understanding, that's supposed to end. The summary of the 23-24 budget, total revenues of $19,762,663, total expenditures of $19,257,320, for a subtotal of $505,343, giving us our projected fund balance that we just presented for the final budget of $4,223,513, gives us a projected fund balance for June 30 of $4,728,856, making our fund balance 24.6%. And as you can see, we're still on the rise when it comes to the fund balance. Is there any questions on the proposed budget for next year? Like I said, this is a conservative budget. So I feel like when we come back, we're gonna have good things to present.
We typically do our first budget amendment of the year, November-ish, sometimes December, but it's after the fall count. We will have a good handle, obviously, then after our count is audited to know how close we were on that per pupil guess, because as we build a budget right now, it's a projection, a bit of a guesstimate. We also will have locked in, certainly from the state, what the per pupil funding increase will be. We're anticipating, even though we built conservative at the 366 per pupil, that it's going to be closer to that 4 or 450 range. I don't think it'll be 550. I think that's too high. The 458 is, a lot of districts budgeted on that. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to come in low. But in addition to that, there's some categorical money that's set aside for mental health and wellness and safety. And we did not factor any of that in either. And we also were conservative with our at-risk budget. So, I feel very confident that when we're sitting down for an amendment in the fall, we will be above this number we're projecting right now.
Okay, any questions on that budget? Okay, so just to go over the other budgets that we do have in the other funds, the food service budget for next year, we are projecting revenues of $927,829, expenditures of $1,057,731, and if you see there's a capital outlay of $160,000. So again, still trying to spend down some of that fund balance. So you see revenues over expenditures of the negative $129,902, with our beginning fund balance of $294,664. That gives us an ending fund balance of $164,762. It's closer to where we want to be for that 3 months of expenditures. On the student school activity side, the revenues are $180,000. The expenditures are $160,000. The revenue over expenses is $20,000, leaving us with the beginning balance. Fund balance is $213,440, giving us an ending fund balance of $233,440. Like I said, with the student activities, it's just a guess of where the revenues and expenditures will be. On the debt service side, we're gonna, the revenue side is $452,000 anticipated. Expenditures on our principal and interest payment is $521,300, giving us revenues over expenses of negative $69,300. Our beginning fund balance being $386,455 gives us an ending fund balance of $317,155. On the debt service for this year, we are levying the 0.5 mils. Again, we had PFM look at that for us and decide on a number that we are going to use to levy. So those are all of the budgets for the 23-24 school year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, seeing none. Is there any public participation for the budget hearing? All right, none. I call to order the work session starting at 6:52. Looking for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Whittington. Support. Supported by Bowles. All those in favor with the raised right hand, aye.
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 Motion carries 7-0. Looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. I'll make the motion.
I'll support.
Supported by Whittington. All those in favor with the raised right hand, aye.
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 Motion carries 7-0. Student and staff recognition.
All right, this is a quick one. First, just big thank you to Leanna and all the budget work. I don't think we got out of here earlier than 6 or 6:30 any night last week. A lot went into this. I appreciate, you haven't been here a long time, but I like the way you look at it with a conservative lens. I tend to do the same, so it's nice, that synergy is there. So thanks for all your hard work. Also, thank you to all of our Our groups that we worked with this spring and summer as we bargained, our Teamsters, our HLASPA, and our HLEA, we collaboratively bargained new agreements with all three, and I appreciate the manner in which we all work together to collaboratively come up with our new collective bargaining agreements and keep what's best for our kids in mind. So that is my student staff recognition.
Okay. Public comment? I have none. Seeing none. Okay. Superintendent's report.
Good news to share with summer school update. We just finished 2 weeks as of last week. The first 2 weeks of summer school are in the books, and a lot to be happy about. 35 students have been showing up and working hard to get back on track and recover some classes that they did not pass. They're doing this to get back on track, for graduation and obviously to be eligible for athletics in the fall, and also to open up their elective course or their career tech ed offerings. So to make sure they don't have to take a class or retake a class in the fall. 10 of these students are students with special needs. The 35 are attempting to recover 84 courses, an average of more than 2 per student. In the first 2 weeks, we have 23 courses completed. 3 students are completely finished with summer school. They have completed the courses they came to do. One of those was a student with special needs, working really hard. And those 3 are off to the rest of their summer, which is really good. It looks like this year is shaping up to be very successful for our students who are in summer school working hard. We have 4 weeks to go, and can't wait to see how they finish out. They are over at Collins. They are appreciating being back where some of them started for 2 reasons. Number one, it's not a construction zone as badly as this building, even though it's under construction. Number two, the library has air. So they're very happy about the fact that they have air. Not so much necessary as the weather projects for the rest of the week, but certainly it was hot last couple of weeks. Here's some ESSER project updates. Some of these I've shared already, but I'll mention them again. The Collins roof project over the lower elementary is done. Ceiling tile and grid demolition continues so far with really 2 weeks of work underway. 6 40-yard dumpsters have been completely filled and carted away. They're still filling them. New ceiling tile grid work has been installed in the lower elementary hallway. It's underway here in the parts of this building. New tiles to drop in get delivered tomorrow, and installation will start as soon as the state inspector gives the approval. Fabrication for the new piping and valves for the 3 boilers is underway. The boiler crew, we estimate, will finish the project in a few weeks. All of the old sinks in this building have been removed. We did not sell any on eBay, just putting that out there. I was hoping we might, but no, I'm kidding. And the plumbers have shut off the water to each of those sinks, which was nice. We didn't have to shut the water off to the whole building. They were able to get them turned off there. The new sinks are on site and sitting in boxes in the cafeteria. They'll be installed soon. HVAC crews are beginning to fine-tune the piping and get ready for installation in some of the common use spaces for the air conditioner units. They're also rewiring and preparing to install the bipolar ionization units in all of the classroom and office air handlers, so we will have better filtered air next year. Painters are more than halfway finished with painting the walls and the ceilings of the gym. It's a 2-man crew, and I don't think they sleep. They're in there literally like early. They're in there 8, 9. Yeah, they're in there late 8, 9 o'clock at night. They're in there on the weekends. They are absolutely getting after it. The poured athletic floor should begin. That project should begin later in August for the upper deck, and the refinish and repaint of the gym floor will begin in July. New weight equipment is en route from Georgia and should arrive on the truck this week. So that is kind of the ESSER project update with where things stand. I don't think I might have mentioned the parking lot, but if I didn't, as you can tell from driving by the parking lot, they're about 2 weeks ahead actually on that project. They're really doing well. And they benefited from some really nice dry weather, for certainly 2 or 3 weeks. They just had perfect weather for that work. Curbing is pretty much completed for the majority of the parking lot area. They're still working on that exit road area. They're going to be pouring sidewalks as the weather cooperates this week, and then prepping to start installing some of the drains and some of the electrical for the lighting and getting ready to pour. soon after that. So really excited to see how that's going to look. Quick update on the Juul vaping class action lawsuit. Back in the winter, the Houghton Lake Board voted to join the nationwide class action lawsuit against Juul Labs and Altria and others who manufacture vape products and market them to children. I received word just recently from our lead attorney who's handling the case about a possible $235 million settlement. Once the settlement details are finalized, Houghton Lake and other districts who are participating will receive updates about next steps in the process. Proceeds from such a settlement will be divided across all of the participating districts, so we will see how that shakes out. And that is my take.
Thank you. Any questions for the superintendent's report? All right. Looking for a motion to move into closed session for the purpose of negotiation under the Open Meetings Act, Section 8C.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Jeske, supported by Oster. Roll call?
Christian,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Oster,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Halliday.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Time is 7 p.m. Was this here when we went out?
Yes,
Are you sure?
I am, because there's two in here. I don't know where that one came from. This is the one.
I feel like it
Where's
wasn't.
the chipmunk?
So first it came out here, and then it ran back, and I thought, oh, well, it left, but then it came darting out through here. So it keeps coming
If
down.
he runs across my feet, Brian, we're gonna have problems. I
I'll
just
be quick
want
on
you
the
to know.
reflexes.
So when it came out here, Cheryl like screamed.
Did we catch that on camera? Cause we might.
The camera's on now. I just
We
turned it back on. But
get
it
some
was
good-
off, it was off for that screech, but, you know, with the workers coming in and out, those bays have been
Yep.
open. It's a wonder we don't have a whole forest in here.
I did tell Cheryl she had time to go to the bathroom before we come back into the
Save your chipmunk.
Oh, you
Ashley did.
Where'd you find it?
It was going in the hall, so we opened it in her.
Oh, you're
I told Cheryl to give her time to go to the bathroom before we went back.
Sure, oh, that's fine. Whatever.
Well, if I knew you'd take the potty break.
I gotta go back to work yet.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Night shift.
That stay-at-home dad business is real work.
Yeah.
It is real work.
Yeah.
I literally cannot eat anymore.
When I go down and my daughter says, Dad, just hang out, you know, I'm gonna run to the grocery store and just hang with the 2 grands.
Now on
I'm
what you
telling you what, an hour into that, I'm like, hey,
Send it out to the
I'm
kids.
flat out ready for
There's
it.
like nothing, no replies
It's
from.
nonstop.
Okay.
That's how I felt with the puppies this week.
Okay.
How many
Yeah, I
kids?
just don't want
She has 2.
Nate to call me, go,
Hey,
so, where'd you come at? I'm like,
So, 3 and 3 quarters and 9 pounds. So,
Oh, sure.
oh man, it's like 9 months of getting
this
this
thing,
thing,
are
I'm
they
doing
doing
a
all
whole
up?
3 and 3 quarters.
In-house?
Trying to help.
I'm just like, don't get stitches. Mama comes back and one of these got stitches, that's bad.
Okay.
A little egg from a fall, I can get through. No stitches.
I know, I bet you're.
I tell you what, having little ones is for young folks.
You're on replying right away, I'm like, oh, she's they came way too fast, I'm like, you get the response fast.
Oh, yeah.
You're really quick, I'm like, that was way too quick.
No, that, I agree with
But
that.
that hurts a little.
Whatever. I just don't wanna be.
I don't, yeah, we started young, I was 23, my wife was 21.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
We started young, but as young grandparents, I always look at it like, I don't wanna be a grandparent that sit down and go around and crawl with the, you know, I wanna be mobile.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
Yeah,
So
be able to have them enjoy those.
We're doing them
Yeah.
all.
And it's all scary though.
They caught it. Ashley caught it. Your chipmunk,
My mom
she
was
got it
like,
out.
oh my gosh, 'cause they,
Yeah.
my dad and mom were
Caught
at
it,
too,
how?
when I was born.
She didn't shoot it out your door.
They were young, very young grandparents then. and
Right.
they were young.
That's amazing.
So,
Chipmunks
yeah,
have your
so they were all, that's what I'm stuck.
All right.
Very impressed. Looking for a motion to approve closed session minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Whittington,
I'll support.
supported by Jeske. Everybody with a raised right hand, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 7-0. Action items. Looking for a motion to approve the final amendment of the 2022-2023 budget. Motion to approve the 2022-2023 budget resolution of the general fund with the revenues of $18,051,164 and expenditures of $16,682,662. The food service fund budget with revenues of $982,543 and expenditures of $1,163,273. Debt service fund budget with revenues of $487,565 and expenditures of $519,200. And student activities fund budget with revenues of $232,000 and expenditures of $190,000.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Sauer,
I'll support.
supported by Jeske. Roll call?
Halliday,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Christian,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Oster,
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. Looking for a motion for the approval of the General Appropriations Act resolution and approvals of the general fund budget, the food service budget, debt service budget, and school activity fund budget for the 2023-2024 fiscal year as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Souter,
I'll support.
supported by Jeske. Roll call?
Oster,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Christian,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Halliday.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Looking for a motion to approve the HLEA 2023-20 through 2025 agreement.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Oster,
Support.
supported by Whittington. All those, any discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor with a, is this a roll call?
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Halliday,
Yes.
Christian,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Oster.
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. Looking for a motion to approve the HLESPA for 2023 through 2025 agreement. I'll make the motion.
I'll support.
Motion by Christian, supported by Souter. Roll call.
Christian,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Oster,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Halliday.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Looking for a motion to approve the Teamsters Local 214 2023 through 2026 agreement.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Jeske,
Support.
supported by Whittington. Roll call.
Christian,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Oster,
Yes.
Halliday,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Looking for a motion to approve the 2023-2024 non-affiliated wages scale.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Souter,
I'll support.
supported by Halliday. Roll call.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Halliday,
Yes.
Oster,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Christian,
Yes. Looking for a motion to approve the student support specialist contract for Souter, $41,371 out of Title I funds.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Jeske,
Support.
supported by Whittington. Roll call.
Christian,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Oster,
Yes.
Souter,
Abstain.
Whittington,
Yes.
Halliday,
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Looking for a motion to approve student support network coordinator contract for Jeske in the amount of $49,857 out of Title I at-risk funds.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Oster. I'll support. Roll call.
Christian,
Yes.
Jeske,
Abstain.
Bowles,
Yes.
Oster,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Halliday,
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Looking for a motion to approve the proposed superintendent's contract for 2023-2026 in the amount of $120,188 out of the general fund.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Whittington,
I'll support.
supported by Jeske. Roll call.
Christian,
Yes.
Jeske,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Oster,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Halliday,
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Any discussion? Seeing none, we are adjourned at 8:20. That was a lot of voting.
Good work, everyone. Good work to someone. Get your signing pen out. I think Tim had some
Yep.
signatures needed to
all that's
capture.
not the stack. You two need to sign.
All right. So what you're saying is I'm not going home?
Yeah.
Oh, you get a break from puppy duty.
That's not so bad.
How old is this puppy?
16 weeks.
How big?
And she's big.
Okay. And what's his, other Cujo thing? Is he like, man, this is awesome, I got a dog?
No. He's like, I think I'm getting too old for puppies.
Look at the paws.
I kid you not, her paws are as big as the big dogs.
Oh, no.
Those are
Oh,
paws.
yeah.
How
Oh,
old is
yeah.
your older one?
My older one is 5.
Oh, okay.
Still a puppy.
He, you know, you would think, but when she gets running, he's like, no. We're not even. He will like get on the couch and be like, I can't do it. He did run till he made himself sick the other day. And so now he's like, I'm not doing that with you. And so also Paige likes to walk her dog more frequently than we walk Echo. Like he gets one walk maybe every 3 days when somebody's finally like, oh, okay, he needs more than the backyard.
It's a puppy though, they gotta go.
Yeah, so she goes on 3 walks a day and now Paige wants to like take Echo on 3 walks a day and today she got out the leash and he like went and hid in my bedroom. He was like, no, you're not tricking me again.
Have you got the ears?
No, not even a cover.
I thought they were. No, that's
No
good,
way.
but you're right.
She'll just have big fat ears.
And by the way, it won't be long, you're not gonna be able to do that anyways, cause they're gonna outlaw it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's
Are
big.
they standing up at all yet?
No, well, one is really trying, but the other one just flops forward, but.
Sometimes they don't stand.
They're all cute when they're flopping.
That's our
They are
Aussie,
cute when they're
our
flopping.
younger Aussie.
I don't
So
know
hers
how
just
many
flopped.
questions, but if I do, it'll be around.
You know how to find me. I'll be here.
If there's
Boy, Cheryl, good to see ya.
You too.
We've missed you.
I know, but there's other things.
But our chairs are a little bit more comfortable than some of the other ones.
Some of them, oh, you can't imagine.
I do imagine, because sometimes when Rob asks me to go to Roscommon Township, I'm like, oh.
They give me a special chair.
They want you to report good things.
Cheryl, when we get that parking lot done,
Here.
we'll take you on a tour through it, show you the loop, you can take video, if you do drive around.
GoPro on my.
Yeah. I was telling Alicia, that new drive's gonna be so long, we should install a toll booth on the far side, so we can make their way around.
That makes
Hey.
me happy.
Oh, no doubt. Another revenue source, hello.
See ya.
You want prime job?